So this is going to be a build of a weirdo Sling Rave Curvette. This is going to be my third weirdo. I built the Daddy-O and the Francis Fowl last year. These were very cheap at a local hardware store, believe it or not, where they just had a whole bunch of them for $7. So let's do my first unboxing and then we'll start the build. So one thing about these weirdos is that the styrene or the plastic does not glue well with Tamiya paints, Tamiya glue, and that's the only really issue I've had with them in the past. So I was told that the box can be deceiving in terms of the height of the actual figure. And you can see that she's actually quite small, given the box size. I'll just open that with the blade. Most of these Hawk kits, they just have a single page for instructions, but the kits themselves are not hard to build. So you see it's one page with just a picture, really. And, the few things, especially with this kit, that go together. Which, you really don't need the instructions. It's all intuitive. But you can see from the size of the figure that she's quite small. Just to give an example, that's her leg there. So she's going to be maybe, 7-8 inches tall at the most. But the kits are themselves, they're not too bad in terms of quality. The fits tend to be quite good. No real issues here. So I'll bring out all the parts. You can see on the sprue. So here the whole hand is made already. You have to glue that. One thing I wanted to try with this kit is actually this purse, where people have used glitter as a base and then put translucent paint on top, and I want to try that with this purse over here to see how that goes. And oh, surprise number one, I have two sprues with the head, so that'll be interesting, and the hat, and one leg, and the umbrella. Great. I might be able to use that head somewhere else. Another thing I wanted to try with this kit is actually to try some patterns on the hat. I saw some people doing a hatched pattern. So this is actually a bonus for me where I can try things on one hat and then have another. And if it fails, I don't have to worry too much about it. So, hey, good news. And I'll leave it at that for now. And we'll see how the build goes. So a funny thing, since my last video when I was basically doing the unboxing, I thought I had an extra sprue. But as you can see, I started assembling it over here, and it was actually two sprues. I didn't notice that there was actually two sprues, which is really essentially the same kit. The only thing that fell off was this leg here. So basically I got two kits in one, which is a nice surprise. It is a rather small kit anyhow. I'm not sure if there was some sort of defect why they threw in both, but I'll see what I do with this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to build it or not. I already started this one over here. So going this one over here, put the head together, a little, putties things up here, the hat. Was not really that much putty except for one area, and basically that was putting the legs together and then combining them like this. And I took some photos to show how if you want to get the top correctly aligned, then the bottoms will have these large gaps that are really not rounded edges. So I basically had to putty up the butt there, and it looks good now. There was a little broken heel spike, but I actually used some sprue goo that I made for the first time just to thicken it and basically stretch it out and then file it down, and I was quite surprised at how good that came out. Looks good. For painting coming next and priming it, I was thinking of going with a light colored skin tone, light green. I'm going to be using some white primer for the first time, and I was actually thinking maybe just dabbing a little green paint right into the primer and see if that works to basically give me the base that I want anyhow. The only thing I might glue before I do the priming is the hands to the body. And I'll keep these, I want to keep the torso separate, since so this has no torso at all, actually just really a bit by the skin tone, I mean, right by the feet. So I'm not too sure. I'm probably just going to do the hands on this one, and then I can putty up where the, you know, the her shoulder joints, because there is quite a gap there. So I'd like to putty them up before I prime and paint that. I think after that I'm okay. There's really not much happening here that can be completely separate, as well as the neck going in over here. So that's the plan right now. Very little other putting, you know, a little on the base over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this, I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be engine exhaust piece. It's supposed to go on her hat kind of thing, something like that, with the flag. I like the flag, but I'm not sure I want to go with the exhaust. It just seems out of touch with the rest of the model, which has nothing to do with cars. As I mentioned, I wanted to take the purse and try something where I actually use some glitter. I've seen people do this, and I'm going to do a test before I do it on the actual piece over here, where they do some glitter and then paint over it with translucent paint. And I was thinking doing like a gaudy red glitter bag there. Another thing I was hoping to actually do is get a little dog for her, because again, it's a very small model, but I couldn't really find a small dog. I don't think I'm up to, my skills aren't there yet to actually create one, you know, sculpt one myself. I was thinking of if I could have found one and then find a really thin chain to maybe have her hold the dog on a chain, and then make a bigger base than this one over here. Anyhow, we'll see how it goes. So far, so good. Alright, the parts are all primed. I used white prime because I do want to have a lot of this actually stand out brightly. Didn't have too much trouble, other than, again, the pants over here, because of all the puttying I had to do for that. Everything came out alright. I was looking for, I think I mentioned I want to make the purse kind of a pearly, bright, flaky thing, something. So I tried some of this just on my pad over here to see how it would come out over here, and then my intent was to either put some of this stuff on and then put a translucent red or some other color to really shine out. I gave a test over here. It's a little bumpy, but not as bumpy as I feared, so that would work. Maybe do a few coats of this, 2 coats, to get an even glitter all over the place. And I also went to the dollar store and picked up some of this, so I can actually use pre-colored glitter, and that would probably work as well, although these are much finer. So from a scale point of view, this stuff would probably be better. I'm not too sure which one I'm going to go with. What's nice about this is I can actually add glitter to other parts over here. I was thinking, you know, either doing her glasses in glitter, or even just kind of like a ribbon around her hat. But again, for the hat, I was actually originally thinking of putting a real ribbon there. So I'll see what I'll do with that. I was also looking for some actual chains to use instead of this, you know, plastic handle on the purse. But the dollar store didn't have any fine chain that it would be in proportion. So I think I'm going to stick with this for now. Color wise, I would like to make her green as the box suggests, but going for this much lighter lime green And then as I saw some, another video where they made leopard pants, and either I'm going to use this tan over here. This is deck tan, and this is just flat flesh for the pants, and then I would mark it up with a marker. Anyhow, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so a lot of progress since the last video. I think a lot of it has been painted. Mostly Tamiya paints, airbrushed, some stuff straight acrylics, dollar store acrylics and whatnot. First thing I wanted to talk about was the purse, which, as I mentioned, I wanted to put some glitter on it, and what I ended up doing was going with the the dollar store powdered glitter, not the glitter tube, and then getting color into that. I was worried about the glitter coming off, but it seems to hold. What I actually just did was use Pledge as a binder, basically, soaking, painting on the Pledge, and then either dipping the purse into the glitter or just sprinkling it over and let it settle in. I did a few passes with that. You can see some bare spots every now and then. I gotta touch them up, but over here, it seems to work. What I'll probably do is give it one more pass, and then I'll probably seal it with another clear coat, just to give it extra durability. But I think it looks all right. The pants, I said I wanted a leopard skin pattern, which I managed to get. This is just using a very, very fine tip marker, and basically painting the spots on. Seems all right, not completely evened out with the pattern. I'll probably go in and put a few more just to even it out, but other than that, it looks fine. The problem comes, which something I wish I noticed a little earlier, is with the waist. When these two parts are combined, they really don't line up. The bottom piece is much wider than the top waist. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It really looks bad if you look at it on the side. Look at the gap. Not much I can do at this point. Had I noticed earlier, I would have shaved this part down to bring it closer at least. The only thing I can do right now is basically paint in that black line, that extra ledge, if you will, with some black paint, and make it look like a belt, and maybe try to put on a buckle there, and hopefully it's not too bad. I'm not going to putty it up. It's way too beyond putting. It's much more trouble than it's worth, because that's another thing I could have done had I known this earlier on. Maybe either put an extra layer there to bring it more in line with this, or putty around the waist a bit so it would extrude and match that. No big deal. I just wish the molding was a little bit better on that. The hat, I mentioned I wanted to put a ribbon, and I did a little trial with this red one to see what it would look like, and it's not too bad. I wish I had a yellow ribbon. I went through, the Christmas wrapping stockpile, see if I had any, and I did not. I have white, but I don't like the look of white either, so I might just go with the red. This is actually a ribbon that was cut down the middle to bring it down to size. Or I'll put a temporarily red one there, and then later on, once I get hold of a yellow, I'll put another one there. But it'll work out regardless. The glasses, what I really wanted to do with these glasses was actually to fit in a lens, a plastic lens, but I didn't want to put clear, because that's, they're supposed to be like sunglasses. What I tried to do was find a very lightly tinted acetate, and I think I've got some around the house, but I've only found things that were just too dark for this. something like this. This is I'm not even sure where I got this. Movie glasses. They're probably polarized, so for 3D, or I really don't remember. But looking at this, it would make them too dark, and it would basically cover up the eyes completely, and I don't want to do that. So either I find something the right color, the right tint, very light, or I'll take some white acetate and maybe apply some yellow tint with, to me, a clear yellow. That's what I'm going to be doing there. You notice I took the base and I kind of put this speckled pattern, which I kind of like, although I'll probably be adding more to it. And what I really want to say about this was I was thinking of doing a speckled pattern on the top over here, her top, using maybe white. The problem is getting into, especially under the arms, would be really tricky. And basically this is done with an old sponge that I pre-soak and then dip it into paint, drying off the paint, and then when it's very little left, it's basically like doing a dry brushing and then just lightly going over it. I'm worried that if I try to do it on such a small piece, I need a much finer sponge to do it, and again, getting under the arms would be tricky, so I may just leave it as is. Last but not least, the flag. I've seen some videos where this is supposed to be a checkered pattern, but it's a lot of work to get the checkered pattern done. You can't do it obviously just by brush, or at least I can't. So I'm going to see if I do that, follow the format where basically you take strips of the tape and put them in a certain pattern, paint it over, and then take them off, and then put a second pattern so that it ends up being checkered. You can check online, there's lots of references for that. I would like to do it, but it's a lot of work, and I'll see if I want to do it. I also have, because it's so small, I also have to make the strips really, really thin, but I'll give it a try. Worst comes to work, I can just, you go back over, scrape it down again, and just give it something else. I don't really have a flag pattern to put in there, and it looks kind of silly if it was just one color. So anyhow, lots of progress. This is just the umbrella over here. Lots of progress, and we're going to get there. Probably the next video will probably be the end. So she's done. Quite happy how it turned out. You can see I did get to put in some lenses for the glasses. I actually found an old tape cleaner box where you could see the plastic is all yellowed, aged from the sun, and cut out a little piece there, molded it to the eyeglasses, and glued it to the back, and it looked great. The flag was a little challenging using the crosshatch, and it didn't come out perfectly, but I was actually surprised that it kind of fit in with the motif, it being a little weird, so I like that. And I did not go with the speckled top as I thought I might try it. It was just too hard after I tried seeing if I can get a sponge in there. It would not work. So far I just have the little red ribbon on top of the hat there. I couldn't find another one, but I think it's alright. I think it looks better with the ribbon, and it's not glued, so I can take it off at any time. And there she is. I had created a belt buckle, but the midriff, there's too much of a ledge there, so it would look actually uglier with the belt buckle. So I'm leaving it as is. I'm calling her done.